Hey everyone, Shelly here with Align My Practice. Welcome to another Wisdom Wednesday. I hope you're all having a great week. If you tuned in last week, you know I am doing a 4-week series on team accountability. And week 1, we talked about the very first steps to success in that, which is hiring right. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of new hire onboarding. Stay tuned. Successful onboarding is not easy. It definitely takes time, and you have to have a system and it needs to be consistent. And so if you doctors do not have an office manager in your practice, you do need to have some assistance with a team lead who can help out with this. But once you hire the right person, or at least you feel like they're the right person, I really want to make sure that you've got orientation set up. This could be a welcome package. It could have some company swag. I would always give little water bottles, and I would put a little welcome sign on the employee's locker to make them feel special. The very first day, you need to make sure that there is a company overview. You really want to educate them about your company's history. What are your mission, or what is your mission? What are your values? Talk a little bit about your culture, the things that are important to you. And you need to have a system in place for role-specific training. So let's say if it's a clinical assistant, you need to have a clinical handbook for onboarding. Week 1, we're going to focus on these clinical situations, tray setups, how to properly take x-rays, how does your software work? If you have an intraoral scanner, how does that work? How do we take intraoral photos with mouth mirrors, things like that. It's also important to make sure that you've got a mentor or a buddy system in place. In some offices, if the team is really tiny, that might be one person that is their mentor, their buddy. I like mixing it up. I like having a different team member work with them every single week if your team is large enough to be able to do that. And then I want to make sure that you've got regular check-ins with your new hires. Very often I see that it's the first day, you kind of throw them to the wolves, it's sink or swim, and then the practice owner or the office manager really doesn't have a conversation with them until after the 3-month probationary period is done. That's not going to work. Your chances of retaining that employee are incredibly low. And you're going to be discouraged. They're going to be discouraged. You're going to be disappointed. There's no way that they're going to know exactly what your expectations are. So make sure to have regular check-ins. I recommend a 1-day check-in, and then 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, so that by the end of the first month, you've had 5 sit-down conversations with them to share with them the areas that they're doing great, areas of opportunity. It's important to talk about that right away. And I really want to make sure that you're asking the employee for feedback. How do you feel about things? Do you feel confident? Do you feel supported? Really make sure that you're fostering open, clear, and consistent communication. Next week, we're going to be talking about detailed job descriptions, which is really important. So I do want to talk about that a little bit today, that it is important when you are going through this onboarding process, that when you are having those sit-down evaluations with them, that you are referencing your clinical handbook, or you've already presented them job expectations and duties so that they know exactly what is expected of them. I'll never forget, I had a doctor reach out to me, and they had a new hire and they were really frustrated, like, Shelly, they didn't even take the trash out last night, and there was a dirty tray of instruments. So I asked the doctor, I said, well, did you let them know that it's their responsibility specifically to empty the trash? Did you ever give them the expectation that before you go home, you need to make sure that there are no dirty instruments, it's out of the cold sterile, everything's packaged? Whatever your system is, you need to make sure that you are very clear. There's no gray area. They need to know exactly what they need to do when they come in. You're in charge of turning on this light. You're in charge of opening up all the computers, turning on the x-ray, and getting the music going. whatever their specific duties are, it's important to make sure that when you are having those little mini one-on-ones with them during their first few months of employment with you, that you're referencing the specific duties that you've assigned to them. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure. I look forward to chatting with you again next week and hope you have a great day. Bye.